In this video, I'm going to give you the exact same bidding formula that I use to win highly profitable commercial cleaning contracts. I have successfully used this exact formula to build my personal commercial cleaning company beyond 7 figures in less than 5 years. So before we can piece it together, there's 3 things that we have to know before we start getting that price. You need to know the length of time it will take to clean the building. You need to know your true hourly cost, not just what you pay somebody. And you need to know which profit margin to target for this account. Once we know all 3 of these, we can put them into our formula and get our price. Let's dive in to figure out how long should a building take. To really know how long it's going to take you or your crew to clean a facility, you've got to know the size, the density, and the traffic or approximate traffic in the facility. To figure out the size, you simply just need to get the square footage of the facility, which we cover in another video on doing commercial cleaning walkthroughs. Then you have the density. What is density? Density is how many offices, exam rooms, bathrooms, and toilets in those bathrooms are all inside of that facility, because there are some facilities that have very open areas, while you have others that are crammed full of exam rooms and offices and cubicles and things that clutter up their facility. Another factor with density, and you will get this information at your walkthrough, is how frequently each of those spaces are cleaned. If you're cleaning a large office building, then maybe each of the desk areas only need a serious cleaning once per week and just a daily check, as opposed to a medical facility where it's a full clean everywhere, every day. So it's very important that during your walkthrough, you understand how much square footage of the facility needs to be cleaned, how often, and what types of square footage that is. And then you have traffic. You can obviously ask your prospect about how many visitors or patients or customers they have per day. You can look at the parking spaces while you're there. You can look at it from Google Maps. You can look at it when you're walking in or out of the facility, however you want to gauge it. Here's what I mean by this. Look at this string of facilities. It's all under one roof. It's a bunch of smaller offices, and each door has approximately 4 to 6 parking spaces per facility, as opposed to a facility like this that has one building, one customer, it's all theirs, and it's a bunch of parking spaces. So a lot of traffic for that space. That is going to help you get an idea of how dirty it's going to be whenever your crew is going to be there. And I'm going to put a chart up right here. You can pause the video, screenshot it, use it however you want, but this is the same chart that I have used over the course of the years to help me get a very good gauge for how many square feet per hour our crew can do within certain types of spaces and within certain types of scenarios. So let's take the office range, for example, with 3,000 to 4,000 square feet cleaned per hour. The upper end of that, which would be the fastest rate of 4,000 per hour, would mean that the density is probably on the lower end and the traffic is probably on the lower end. But when we get down to the slower cleaning speeds, that is probably because there are more desks, more offices. Maybe we need to do more than just once a week at each desk for each of the spaces. We also might have more traffic coming into this facility, but each of these ranges for each of these types of facilities can really help get you a gauge for how long it should take. So all that you need to do is take the total facility size and divide it by the rate per hour for your facility type that you're looking at. Now, is this an exact science? No, this method helps you get a good idea and a good range, and you can go from there. It gives you a good starting place. And if you want to take this a step further and get even more accurate with your bidding, I actually have provided the same proposal calculator that we used for years. It's linked down in the description below. All you do is put in the building's information and it'll put out prices for you. So now we have some confidence as far as how long this building is going to take. Let's find our actual labor cost. And here's the formula for that. It is your average market rate plus 10%, and then you add on your payroll liabilities. How do you find the average pay for a cleaner in your market? Go on Indeed. Look at what other companies are offering. There's also a company called PayScale. It costs about $100 the last time we used them. They'll pull together all the market reports and show you the average pay in your market, high, low, medians, mediums, about where you can expect pay to be in your market. And you can choose which prices to go with from there as far as picking the base hourly cost that you're going to use in this formula. So here's what that looks like in my operation. Our average market rate here in Asheville, North Carolina is about $13 per hour for people going out and cleaning buildings in the evenings. We're gonna add on 10% of that on top of itself. So it's $1.3 per hour, which gives us 14.3. Why are we adding that 10%? Because we want to attract good people, right? We don't wanna play at the bottom of the barrel. Now it's up to you to pick the strategy that works best for your situation and your market. We like to go with the average plus 10%. Now, that's not the end of it, right? You have payroll taxes, you have state unemployment insurance, federal unemployment insurance, you've got workers' comp insurance, you have all these other costs that are there because you have employees. That's what's called your payroll liabilities. So what we do is we then add our payroll liabilities on top of that base hourly rate that we've now selected. For us, that means we need to add 14.116% to our base labor costs. So when we do that, our true labor cost really shows that it's $16.32 per hour. And just so you know, the proposal calculator that we use, linked down below, does calculate this for you. Now we can move to this final step because we know our true hourly labor cost and we're confident about how long this building is going to take. Let's figure out how much profit we should charge this customer, because if we charge too high, we're not going to win the account. If we go too low, then we aren't going to make very much either. Now, the technical term for this profit that we are talking about is gross profit, or it's also known as gross margin. This is how much money is left over after paying cleaners and your staff so that it can go paying for other things like your office and your salary and any overhead, any marketing. So we're not talking about net profit here. We just want to find out how much money should we stack on top of our costs so that we can run our business and make money. Here is our markup chart that we use to decide how much markup or profit we should charge on an account. What's important to note with this chart is that the hours listed are weekly hours. You can see that the bigger the account, the longer the cleanings take per week on average, the lower the margin. Why is that the case? Smaller accounts take almost just as much management to take care of them as larger accounts. Here's an example to help explain why it works this way. Because let's say there's a $10,000 a month account, and then you also have a $500 a month account. Is the $10,000 per month account going to take 20 times the amount of management effort to take care of than the $500 a month account? Absolutely not. Both of them may receive a once a month inspection. There might be some extra emails sent, there might be some extra coordination with the $10,000 a month account, but the extra time, resources, and energy spent on managing that $10,000 a month account is not 20 times the $500 a month account. This is what's called economies of scale, and larger facilities know this. So if you go into a large facility and bid it at a profit margin of a small facility, the odds of you winning it are going to be very low. So we use this chart to help us determine what is fair, and this is based on our market. You can adjust this how you see fit. You can use it as a guide and then make your adjustments from there. But you need to pick a profit that's going to be fair to your customer, but also profitable to you. And this is the first thing that we look at to do that. Now that we've picked our profit, let's see what that does to our hourly rate so that we can put our whole formula together and get a price. The way to get your profitable hourly rate from this based on the profitability that you selected is to take your true hourly cost that we calculated previously. Remember, ours was $16.32 divided by 1 minus the profit margin that you selected. Let's do a real quick example. If we have an account that's at that 35% profitability range, that's above 66 hours per week in our market, then what we're gonna do is take that $16.32 per hour divided by 1 minus 35%, which turns into $16.32 divided by 65%, which equals $25.11 per hour. This is now the hourly rate that we can charge to get that 35% gross profit margin into the account. Finally, we now know how long the building is going to take. We know our true hourly cost. We have picked our profitability, which helped us find that very profitable hourly rate that we're going to charge. So now let's take all these pieces and put it together into our final formula. The final formula looks like this. Our efficient cleaning time, remember for how long the facility is going to take, times our hourly rate that has our profitability baked into it, multiplied by how many times per week the cleaning is going to be completed, and then multiplied by 4.33. That 4.33 is how many weeks there are in 1 month. If you wanted to treat that 4.33 differently, you could multiply that whole top line by 52 for the amount of weeks there are per year, and then divide that final number by 12. Either way, you end up with a monthly price. The bidding and quote calculator linked in the description down below will do this for you so that you don't have to figure it all out. But if you do want to do this your own way and manipulate any of these pieces, you can absolutely do this so that you can win profitable commercial cleaning contracts. As a final note, why aren't supplies baked in here? Well, supplies typically run 2 to 3%, and they're typically included in the consideration of that profitability markup. So if you wanted to add a little bit, you absolutely can do that. But that's up to you. This is how I do my bidding and how I've been winning accounts consistently and built my business to multiple 7 figures in less than 5 years. So there you have it. This is the exact bidding formula that I have used over and over again to win consistent, large and medium and small commercial cleaning contracts that have built our business incredibly fast. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Matt Pancarina. I build commercial cleaning companies and then I show you how to do it. So please like, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, keep building.